Welcome to week 30 of my self-important Magic the Gathering show. I am still recording these very early because that's what I feel like doing. This is minus green, aka Artifice, which makes sense because we don't have access to green ramp, so we're going to use a lot of artifact ramp. Over here, we're just going to preview that there is only one commander in this color identity. So I'm going to take my time, but I can probably do a couple of different decks with this commander, but we'll see. So for minus green, we have Breya, Etherium Shaper, who is a 4/4 human with no job. She's not even an artificer. I guess if she's shaping Etherium with magic, she doesn't need to be anything, I guess. Yep, she is just a human. She is unemployed. When Breya, Etherium Shaper enters the battlefield, create two 1/1 blue Thopter artifact creature tokens with flying. Okay. Thopter specifically gives me ideas, and I think everything I want is not in green anyway. But we can pay 2 and sacrifice 2 artifacts to choose one of the following 3 things. Breya Lightning Bolts, players or planeswalkers, but not creatures. That's very interesting. Oh, that is because she is slightly meaner to creatures in a good way. That's Grasp of Darkness, an effect that normally costs double black. Target creature gets -4/-4 until end of turn. So for the cost of the mana being generic, you have to sacrifice 2 artifacts. Very interesting. Or you gain 5 life. Hopefully you never have to use that one, but hey, that's a nice panic button. And then we have our Nephilim, who says whenever your Tiller Nephilim attacks, so it doesn't have to deal combat damage, that's already slightly better. Return target creature card from your graveyard to play tapped and attacking. That is interesting because it does open up. If that's on the field, it opens up what you can sacrifice with Breya in your pre-combat main phase. Because assuming the Your Tiller is out and you attack with it, you can sacrifice a non-token artifact creature and get it back, as long as it's something you don't mind attacking with, obviously. Also, that's you can gladly trade the Your Tiller for a much bigger artifact creature. So before we get ahead of ourselves, let's eat our vegetables. Tea, land. And I think I'll do this thing where I say the names of the lands again. I liked that last time. T Plains, or T Island, or T Swamp, or T Mountain. We actually might do things differently because we don't need the snowlands. So we want this. I'll take the cycling land. We'll take these because we can. That's our thing where instead of proxying these, we just go, hey, does anyone mind if we consider these as these? Enters tapped, cycles, surveils. Godless Shrine. Oh, notice I stopped saying it. Now I'm just saying what they can do. I'm inconsistent. Hollowed Fountain. Idyllic Beachfront. That's a Surveil one again. We should still do the thing where we put 4 basics in, but we'll see how that pans out. The Tributary. The Mountain. Theater. Tower. We're going to leave out the 2 or more basic ones because we're only going to have 4 basics in the whole deck. And since we're not land ramping, 2 life, enters tap, the triomes, obviously. Surveil, 2 more basics, we can ignore that. 2 more basics, snow, 2 life, snow, tapped, swamp, surveil, 2 life, and triome. So that put us at 29 out of 37 lands. I'm actually going to take out the basics again because those are easier to find if I change my mind again. Because now we are going to add in the ones that care about basic land types, since we have 25 ones with basic land types. Those are the fetches. Do we want, you know what, the verges at least come into play untapped. Oh, and all 10 of them will get us up to 35. Actually, wait, no. I just realized there are other, the other tapped triple lands are the ones that we want. Okay, so it's blue comma black, red comma white, blue comma red, white comma blue. I'm not going to remember all that. T land, O, white comma blue, no, we do need this, or blue comma black, or blue, whoops, blue comma red, or red, white. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to hit enter on that, even though I forgot to close my parentheses. And did I miss one? 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, there were only 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we wanted to do these first. There we go. I messed up my things a tiny bit. Oh, the layers. That's night. So we want this one. We want this one. There's 2 layers. That'll help. We don't want the Crypt of the Eternals. I do like how the layers, even though they bounce a land, they do come into play untapped. So you can tap your land. So there we go, and that puts us at 31. We haven't put this in a deck in a while. I was actually thinking of putting in the artifact lands. But I decided against it. Because you can sacrifice the lands. But without green, there's no way to get them back, so I was like, let's see. There's a couple of, you might remember, let's see. I just don't always remember all of the names. City of Brass, Exotic Orchard, Mana Confluence when we get to it, obviously, and honestly, Starting Town. And I think that's it. Because the other ones are like enters tapped and you also have to tap another thing. Wow, that only put us at 36. That's wild. And I don't want to be... like, 36 does feel too... like, at least 1 too few. Oh, ref pool. There we go. There we go. It's absolute garbage on its own, but at least it's something. Okay, so now, oh, you know what? Let's do the easy one. Soul Ring that you can pry out of my cold dead hands. Then the Signet, Arcane, Azorius, Boros, Demir, Izzet, Rakdos, Orzhov. And then the Talisman of Conviction, Creativity, Dominance, Hierarchy, Indulgence, and Progress. Oh, that puts us at... Well, that puts us at 14, which is fine because we're in a 4-color deck. And it's also more artifacts that we can theoretically sacrifice to Breya. Now we do our somewhat, our at least serviceable removal section, because we have white and black. But it is going to be slight. It is going to feature more monocolored stuff. So T instant O exile target order, CMC. Always gotta skip past Path to Exile, of course. We always gotta skip past the stuff, Swords to Plowshares. Skip past the stuff that are not helpful. D-Spark. Dire Tactics, because our commander is a human. So we don't... Parting Gust. Oh, Reality Shift is Exile. Sweet. We always do Exile first, because the more permanent removal is better. Anguished Unmaking. And I think Utter End is the last one. Vanish into Eternity is 6 to target a creature, but 3 to target anything else. Not sure. I don't think I'm a fan, if I'm being quite honest. Oh, Baleful Mass Raid only costs 2 and it lets them draw a card. Deadly Rollick if we control our commander. I don't think we need that. There we go, Utter End, and I don't think... Although, what are we at? That puts us at 9 out of 12. We could do all exile removal. Because we could go with the ones that I said no to. Though, I actually want to go over to destroy for destroy target permanent or target non-land permanent. There's at least 2 we can grab. They're going to be much further down, but just in case I forgot something. Oh, Wild Magic Surge. That says permanent. So I think, yeah, I think that'll be all 3, because we're going to be grabbing Generous Gift and Stroke of Midnight for the other 2. Oh wait, that reminds me that Void Rend is in this section. Yes, because we have access to those colors. Okay, so that's 13 pieces of removal. Okay, let's get rid of Dire Tactics this time, so that we don't have to worry about that downside. And now our non-green mass disruption. There we go. Okay, just fixing how I'm sitting. You know how it is. Aetherize. Aether spouts. Settle the wreckage. Vandal. Shattering Spree. And Heliod's Intervention. There we go. Now we just need to draw cards. But we're already at 71. So our card draw. Ooh. So we're gonna do a bunch of stuff with Thopters because that amuses me because there's like weird Thopter support. But we're also going to want to make more tokens, so we're going to look into that as well. So first, Idol of the Idol of Oblivion. So we're going to search created O token. Because there's going to be a couple of things. Oh, we don't. Okay, that's nothing. Benny Braxis is a card at the end of our turn that steals tokens. Ooh, determined iteration says at the beginning of combat on your turn, populate. So it gives us one free token that we sacrifice at the next end step, which means we have until the end of our next end step to just sacrifice it to our commander. This is pseudo draw. Elspeth does. We're going to be completely shameless on that. We're also going to grab Anointed Procession really quick. We're not grabbing Divine Visitation because these are not artifacts, and that's not specifically helpful to us. Oh, Fairy Artisans is good because if we're always sacrificing the token that it makes, we don't have to worry about this. Well, the funny thing about it is that it's always sacrificing a token you have, so that's mildly interesting. Oh, she creates more tokens. Hers is an activated ability. Yeah, I'm not interested in the Geist Hunter. Oh, this makes extra Thopters. That's what I was talking about. I have to read the Oracle that talks. This creature enters with 3/+1/+1 counters on it. That is absolute garbage. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may remove any number of +1/+1 counters from this creature. If you do, create that many 1/1 colorless Tetravites. which has can't be enchanted. The beginning of your upkeep, exile a number of tokens created with this. Oh, okay. It's because of wording. Oh, this needs detectives, and it gives you extra clues. So we're going to go create and then -O created. This is going to get, yeah, that's. We only want them to create artifact tokens. And -T instant, -T sorcery, -T land. There. Realized a bunch of things I didn't want. I probably should have put -T aura. But we'll see what happens. That's when we play artifacts. Oh, whenever you cast an artifact, you get a blue fairy. It doesn't create more artifacts. So maybe she doesn't make it in this deck, but she is cool. Oh, she makes gnomes when we attack, and we want to attack. Like, don't not attack. Okay, this thing specifically mentions Thopters, so we're gonna give that a pass. Okay, this creates an extra bat, which isn't. Oh, but we can sacrifice stuff to draw. We can turn any creature or artifact into a clue. That might be good. That specifically creates a Thopter. This makes robots, but I have to deal combat damage to a player. Mites are artifacts, but I'd rather have Thopters. That makes Astartes warriors. Blood Fountain makes a single blood token. That makes a golem. Brutaclad makes a mirror every turn, so that's probably good. It's not a Thopter, but we're going to search for Thopters next. Court of Vantress is mildly interesting, but you got it. Cult of Skaro. Davros. Ah, right. Efficient construction. We're going to put this in, but this is, even though it says Thopter, we'll see how many spells with mana value 4 or greater we have in the whole deck. Although technically our commander is a spell with mana value 4 or greater, so I guess that works. That creates 2 Thopters. The stuff that just creates Thopters might very easily go away. Feign? No. If Gazaleth said non-creature spell, that would be so much better. But that's probably why it doesn't say it. Hammer of Perforos. You know what, Jan over here is good. You can tap him to sacrifice an artifact creature to make 2 treasures, or a non-creature artifact to create 2 constructs. So Jan is always item positive, so that's cool. Oh, this makes a Thopter if we control our commander. Oh, servos and Thopters you control get +1/+1. And then you can just make a servo for not a good amount, but hey. Makes our servos and Thopters. Oh, mechanized production. That's an alt-win cone. This thing has improvise. A lot of this stuff might just go away. Oh, whenever you cast an artifact spell, you get a mirror. Like, there's definitely going to be a powering down section after this. Yangling draws us cards if creatures with flying damage our opponents. That's at least card draw. And Thopters fly, for what it's worth. We're probably going to take out a lot of the stuff that are just one-off artifacts, and I just thought of 3 other cards I'd want to put in this deck. I said I'm going to take them out, but I am going to put them in just for the beginning. Cult Vandal doesn't do enough in Commander. Oh, Thopters have haste, that's important. We have to do stuff from exile to get Thopters, but giving Thopters haste. And maybe we'll have some impulsive draw by the time we're done. Who knows? I have no idea. The Retrofitter Foundry is funny, but unbelievably slow unless you want to pay that 3 to untap it. But it costs 6 to make a Thopter, so that is... Oh, this Cearley is good. It creates 2 Thopters. And then scry 1, tap an untapped artifact, draw a card. And that's the one for Thopters. Everyone else makes servos. Mildly interesting. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, which we're hoping to have a lot. Artifact spell is another search term we're going to go for, of course. Oh, and this is sacrifice 2 artifacts, draw a card. That's always fine. I think we had another one that was better. But, you know. Whenever an artifact creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may create a Thopter. But this thing's 6, but still, we're at the put all the garbage in phase. Okay, this says Thopter, but it also says collect evidence, which we're not doing. So, like, we actually finally have to say no to a Thopter thing. This guy creates Thopters, but he also costs 5. Cearley got in because Cearley costs 3. And created 2, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, the Thopter Fabricator. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, you get a Thopter. There we go. And we do plan on drawing extra cards. Artifact creatures have haste. Thopter Assembly sure says Thopter on it, but also it only does this. Oh, it's a. But if you somehow have no other Thopters during your upkeep, you return this to your hand and create 5. I don't think that's good. Sacrifice a non-token artifact to get a Thopter. No thanks. Thopter Mechanic. Only creates 1 when it dies. Boy, this is a thing that could have been so much better. We get a Thopter every turn if we control an artifact. And then we can draw cards. Thopter Squadron comes into play with 3 +1/+1 counters on it. And you can remove +1/+1 counters to put Thopters into play. And you can sacrifice Thopters to make this thing bigger. We're not doing that. Because it costs 1 mana for each of these things that you want to do. Huh. Urza will make our artifact creatures bigger. And we're just going to ignore these other artifacts. Oh, artifact creatures have menace. Didn't we make an all of the Urzas deck during Esper Week? Feels like something I would have done. Whirler Rogue can make creatures unblockable. That's at least interesting. Okay, so don't need it. Counters target spell, make a Thopter. Oh, this creates a Thopter and then you attach this to it. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna, preemptively take these things out because we found that we had better things. Oh, Breya's Apprentice can sacrifice artifacts to do that impulsive draw thing we were talking about. Or make something bigger. See, and like that's the things we want in the deck, things that make the Thopters and then do something else. Oh, that's an exhaust ability, so you can only do it once. Oh, Detective's Satchel investigates twice when it comes out, and then you can create a Thopter if you sacrificed an artifact. Too bad this thing costs 4. The Aviator doesn't do anything. That is a thing that we will, of course, have to come back for. Oh, wait, no, I said our commander counts, so. Oh, that's right, the silly hangerback walker creates. Boy, that's something I at least want to think about. Harry Dronesmith creates temporary ones. We just have to sacrifice them. Costs 4 to create a Thopter. That is still not a good rate. This one at least pumps our Thopters. Oh yeah, Leonardo da Vinci's weird Thopter obsession. Well, not weird. It was like part of his deal that he was trying to make a flying machine. Until end of turn, Thopters you control have base power and toughness XX, whereas the number of cards in your hand. And then you can also exile draw a card, discard a card. If the discarded card was an artifact, exile it, and then you create a Thopter that's a copy of it. That just does that. That just does the thing. This and that other thing up here. Breya's Apprentice. I just realized we're Breya and that's Breya's Apprentice. You can timestamp how long that took me. That's too much work. I think Sharding Sphinx is still kind of good. This gives Thopters 1/1 and makes more Thopters. Artifact creatures have haste. See, Tezzeret costs 5. Oh, she costs 4. But she also draws a card for her +1. Well, theoretically draws a card. Oh, Tezzeret can draw 2 cards. Okay, we'll think about Tezzeret. That's the collect evidence. Thopter Shop. Whenever one or... Oh, this costs 3. Well, this is interesting. Whenever one or more artifact creatures you control die, draw a card only once a turn. So basically when we sacrifice our artifacts, we get an extra draw. We're going to put that in for now. Target creature can't be blocked. That's at least something. Okay. And then one more thing. Well, 2 more things, actually. But we're going to search for them at the same time. Artifact spell or non-creature spell. I forgot about this, but hopefully that doesn't come up too much. Huh. Oh, actually, I like this Cyberman. Huh. Artifact spells have Convoke. Oh, that steals stuff. We don't care about that. Oh, Edgar, Master Machinist, can cast one artifact spell from our graveyard a turn. I like that. And also verifies my colors. Not verifies. I'm trying to think of the action verb for variety. Variates. Oh, artifact spells cost one less to cast. Oh, Esper Sentinel is a nice thing to have early and then sacrifice to other stuff. Artifact spells. Foundry Inspector. There's one more that came out in Aether Drift, and that's white. Non-creature spell probably should have been separate, but here we are. Huh. Oh yeah, if we get a max speed, we can copy. This is much better than one that taps and costs 3. Mystic Forge lets us cast artifact spells from the top of our deck, but I don't. I don't think we're going to use it. Oh yeah, Noctis can cast artifact spells from our discard pile, but they will be exiled the next time they die. Rassilon. silksmithing because I don't want to discard. Oh yeah, Shimmermere and Liberator, Urza's guy. No, we're not gonna play at instant speed. We're gonna stay a little bit. We're gonna stay at sorcery speed. Artifact spell, draw a card. Vivi is a really good card, but I think we're going to dodge it. Whirlwind of Thought? There we go. Oh good, I spelled historic correctly. We're definitely going to be parring down. Once a turn we would get a treasure, but historic spell, draw a card. Historic spells cost one less. Oh, artifact you control enters. I want to see if there's anything interesting in this section. Whenever another artifact enters the battlefield under your control, target creature. Okay. +1/+1 counters on pirates. That's an emblem. Scry 1. Well, this is very interesting when we get to a later creature. There it is. Golbez, Crystal Collector. It has the whenever an artifact control artifact you control enters, surveil 1, which is what this guy has. This guy has Scry though, but he has lifelink. Boy, that's funny. Actually, Golbez. And we're going to do the Contraband Kingpin just because I want them in the same deck, just to be like, this is funny. Okay, this is funny because it is immediately a 5/5, and if you can give it haste, it can't be blocked. I also realized I probably want to put in my 3 standard protection pieces. But maybe I don't. I also was going to put in blink stuff, but to blink my commander to get more Thopters, but then I realized I don't really need to do that. Capicaneer does kind of end games, so that gets to join the party. Okay, this can pay 2 to copy artifact decks that you're bringing in? Well, non-token ones. This Titus is kind of better in 1v1. So we are scrolling to top. We are closing 124. Okay, so now we go to grid. This one can make copies of artifacts. These all make copies as well. In fact, we're going to throw him down here into copy. Just do we have a recursion section? We do not. Because that's what I'm going to put. So I'm just going to name it recursion because that is where they go. Because they can both get stuff out of our discard pile. Recursion. It's only 2 pieces of it, but hey. Oh, 15 pieces of draw. We can take 3 of these out and be fine with it. You know what? As much as I wanted that to be funny, scrying 1 isn't good enough. Since we're, 24 over. If the Thopter Shop isn't good enough, we can remove 1 more. I think we have enough non-creature spells for Whirlwind of Thought. So I'm going to get rid of Mulan Ling. Yes, as much as I like her, and I didn't do it for the show, but I think I've thought up a deck with her as the commander since, it's inobtrusive. So yep, 12 pieces of draw. So my finisher. It'll finish 1 person off at least. This gets back our creature cards. Oh, we have 18 pieces of ramp, so we could. Let's get rid of all of the talismans, maybe. Yeah. Where's the first talisman? That's a signet. Talisman. 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 And that puts us down to 12 even. Look at that. And that is fine. We need to go back to the top because now, because I need a number. 15. Going down to the bottom went too far down. That's all the tokens we make. Let's take out. No, that gives them menace, and I like that. That gives us more Thopters. You know what? That gives us tokens we don't care about, so that can go. So now we're down to 14. Let's take out. That goes to 13. Now we're down. Oh, Fairy Artisans. draw us cards, though. Oh, but you know what? I'd like all my other card draw better, I think. Actually, wait. Let's just test that. Let's put this up in card draw and compare it. So this can draw us 1 to 2 cards, depending on how many artifacts we have, and it also makes Thopters. And if for some reason we ever get to 9, we can search our deck for permanents. Cast non-creature, draw a card. Cast an artifact, draw a card. Artifacts deal damage to stuff, draw a card. Tap an artifact to draw a card. Historic spell, draw a card. Card selection based on number of tokens created. End of turn, draw a card if we created a token. This anthems are Thopters. Stretching. This, yep, that. I think we're gonna Esper Sentinel because that's kind of a target. Copy artifact spell. The thing about the Lone Cyberman is that it's casualty 2, so we would need Urza or any of the other things that makes our artifacts bigger for that guy to work. I still like mechanized production. I like how this is a cast trigger and this is an enter trigger. Although this requires max speed. You know, we're going to dump out that one. This thing has the anthem. So now we're down to 8. So now we're going to back down to tokens. I'm actually going to move my Nephilim to recursion just to save space. Which is funny because I took him out of there. Okay, 8 things, and I'm probably going to take them out of the section that has 22 things. Okay, this also sacrifices them at the end of the next turn. So let's take out the Harried and the Determined. That puts me down to 6. I'd still like giving our Thopters haste. This creates gnomes. And it can create a lot of gnomes. Oh, this just creates 1 Thopter turn. I like the idea of sacrificing this thing and putting a ton of Thopters into play. Just going up to my recursion really quick. Puts it into hand. Oh, and that casts it so you pay the mana. The Yortiller doesn't grab it because it just goes away instantly. This is the part where we take out our doublers. Even Elspeth the finisher, because that is the quickest way. I still like making our Thopters bigger. We scroll to the top again. Oh, we only need to get rid of one more thing. You know what, let's get rid of our Alt Wincon. I like how it says target artifact so we can get extra, like, Idols of Oblivion. But yeah, I think we did interesting there. Oh, and we managed to take an hour to do that too, so that's good. Let's see, as far as names for this goes, we're just going to call this Breya 1. Save changes. I don't know if I'm... How many token generators do I have? 15? So basically what I'm going to do, let's go back up here, is that now for this deck, I'm going to try to take it in a different direction. We're going to go over here. We're going to export the deck. Categories. So we want land, ramp, and removal. Copy. We're also just going to call this Breya 2. We'll unlist it in advance. We're just going to call it Artifice for the description. Save changes. Close. What's funny is it still says growth because I did not, since this was already a deck built, I didn't bother changing anything out. And then it only changes the URL when you close it and open it again. You know what? Considering we plan on casting artifact spells, I think leaving the ramp like this is good because Enthusiastic Mechanoid, Etherium Sculptor, Joyer's Familiar. Anything from... Oh, we should change this back to stacks. Anything from... There are a bunch of things. So we are going to copy here. But we're going to delete some of them. No Tezzeret. We're going to skip on that. skip on that, skip on that. And Leonardo da Vinci. We're going to keep those ones. Whoops, copy card names, unselect. There's stuff from the token section we're going to keep, but we're not keeping all of it. Save those changes. Close. So now we have 6 pieces of draw. We're putting you in draw because that is more important. Then Edgar can go down here, and Golbez can go down there. Recursion is like draw, so it's like we have 10 pieces of draw. In this version of the deck, we're going to be less concerned with making tokens and more concerned with having artifacts. We might... No, I'm going to really try to avoid doing like infinites with the things that get artifacts back from your discard pile, like when they die, which I think is like Junk Diver and stuff like that. So, we could also do tokens in a different way and do treasure generation. There's actually, we want Jan. Is it Jan or Jen? Hold on a second. It was Jan Jansen. We still want him because that's still a good rate. And then there's another guy whose name I don't know, but that's T Legend T Creature Order CMC T Treasure. Oh, I put T instead of O on that last one. I heard myself say it too. No. Actually, Lotho. Whenever a player casts their second spell, you lose a life and create a treasure. I'm fine with that. I want Bilbo again because he creates treasure. Lannery Storm creates treasure. She creates treasure. Fane the Broker. Oh, that's right. This is fucking... Wow, I cursed. Thankfully, I was mumbling. Mahadi is interesting. You get treasures for each creature that died this turn. Like, this is... Stuff like that. It's like, oh, right, that's probably better than the deck we made before. The deck... Breya 1 is actually looking like rat garbage already. Even though I didn't put that in this deck. Setzer... Oh yeah, that creates black. Other outlaws you control have vigilance and haste. I don't know how much that's going to matter. But at the beginning of combat on your turn, your treasures are 3/3s. So that's something. let's do Prosper Tomebound. Oh, I'm definitely doing a Sonic the Hedgehog like week because the creatures they made, except for Dr. Eggman, I really like. Okay, so that's minus T Legend. I'm putting the Reclusive Painter in really quick. Pay 1 life, create a treasure token, costs 3. The funny thing about Descend is that it apparently doesn't count tokens, at least Arena was doing that. I don't know if that's still true. It annoys the heck out of me. We're not going to add an Academy and Manufactor since our commander doesn't care about treasures. That's just a weird thing I've just now decided is how I'm going to do it. Professional Facebreaker, because we can also exile the top card of our library by sacrificing treasures. Sacrifice treasures to give stuff double strike. That's interesting. Oh, sacrifice another creature or treasure, draw a card, and it's not a tap ability. There we go. I don't know how often we'll get Pitiless Plunderer to trigger. Oh, good old Ancient Copper Dragon. That just to have a big flying thing. Cavern Horde Dragon is wild. Costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest number of artifacts an opponent controls. Okay. Flying Trample Haste. Okay. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you get a treasure token for each artifact that player controls. Okay, you know what? We're doing that. What are we at? We're at 90. We don't have a lot of our own artifacts. I'm going to reread Golbez really quick. Oh, it returns creature cards. I forgot about that. Then this thing can cast artifacts from our discard pile, which I don't think we need now, since we don't have a whole lot of artifacts in this deck. This deck went in a wild, different direction. Oh, this gives our treasures vigilance. That's wild. Was there anything over here we wanted to copy? I also realized that some of our pieces of ramp. We're also not we're casting way fewer artifact spells. Hold on, let's go to types. We only have 9 artifacts. So let's we are creating tokens though. put that in, but I'm taking it out. It's funny how we're sacrificing treasures in this one. Oh yeah, she gets lifelink and everything. The Foundry Inspector? Yeah, we don't need that, as it turns out. There we go, because we're... So now we will go back to categories. Wish I had a better category for you, but Anthem is fine. We're at 8 pieces of draw. I guess you are a sack outlet, since it's free sack. Two pieces of recursion. So 14, 13, 12 if we count. If we count the things that are 3 but not the things that are way more than 3. Okay, so there were things over here that maybe, not you, not you, not you, not you. Oh, it's the PNLR. And yeah, we don't need that. I was thinking about something that cared about casting stuff from exile. Like this first deck, kinda garbage. How many artifacts does it have, not counting creatures? 10 artifacts, 28 creatures. How many of those creatures are artifacts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Uh, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have 23 artifacts in this version of the deck. This one's definitely closer to bracket 1 than it is to bracket 3. It's probably fine at bracket 2 even with this Kappa Cannoneer. Oh, I think we still want Kappa Cannoneer in the other deck because it says enters. Now we're at 84. How many creatures do we have? We have 19 creatures. That's fine. How many pieces of ramp are we at? Oh, we're still at like 14. Although I would be fine with more simply because of how many of our treasures we'll actually be using for non-treasure things. Also, oh yeah, that's right, because I decided I didn't need to protect my commander. What do we got? Okay, so we have 16 more spots. Is there anything else in here we cared about? Did we go all the way to the bottom? Yeah, we did. Whoops. We're gonna go artifact you control enters. We're just gonna re-go over that section. That's pirates. We decided that wasn't good enough. That becomes unblockable. That takes an extra turn, which I don't care about. Pact All Terror can... Well, I guess we're... Depending on how many artifacts we're making at any one time, and it's also an artifact itself. This... Oh, hey, look, they both cost 5. Replication Specialist is a Mirror Works. We can pay 2 to... But it's for non-token artifacts, but I just thought that was interesting. That's draw and discard. Never liked that. Oh, Sludge Strider is... Both enters... Oh. Those bats. B-A-T-S. Whenever you create or sacrifice a token, each opponent loses 1 life. I mean, may as well. We didn't put that in this version of the deck. Mostly because I don't know what I would take out. This is definitely more of a... definitely goofier. And I keep looking back at it going, was that really the best I could have done? Oh, I just thought of another thing. After I'm done here. Thought their architect is mildly interesting. Token you control enters. Oh, hey, there's only 3 things that care about that. Just gotta stretch. Whenever a creature... Well, that's creature token specifically. Whenever a token enters the battlefield under your control, you can not stun things, and it also has an affinity for tokens, so Junkwinder can go in here. Oh, this Populate, and that's also creature token. And that's also creature token. So Junkwinder was the only thing from that part of the search. So we're going to -T instant, -T sorcery, and we're going to go back to treasure, because I actually like... Oh, Battle Angels of Tyr can theoretically... does all kinds of good stuff for us. Because we can theoretically draw a card, theoretically create a treasure, and theoretically gain life. Oh, Black Market Connections. Yeah. Descent into Avernus gets the game going, but it gives everybody treasure, and forget that. Breya is going to be selfish. Just reading. Oh, Descended, it says cards specifically, and tokens are not cards. That explains that. Thank you to anyone who heard me talk about this earlier, type something in the comments, and just now. And then you can also go, oh wow, you figured that out X number of minutes before I did. No, actually I like Oathsworn Paladin. You can make a treasure, but you can also give something Death Touch. Like, the +2/+0 is completely unnecessary, but, you know, whatever. You know what? Feign the Broker is fine. It's just that we start from the sacrifice and artifact portion of it. You know, Goldspain Dragon makes our treasures sacrifice for 2 mana. Yungila. We're not going to trade around Kane. We might be done with treasure stuff because, and then I'm going to check the number of creatures I have because oh, monologue tax, of course. Mr. House is funny because we can sacrifice treasures to just roll dice for no reason, and then hopefully create some robots. But we're not doing that. But it is funny. Whenever another creature you control dies, I don't know if we care enough. Oh wait, that's actually funny if that one guy's out, because then our treasures are creatures. We're not Ravganing. We're not Reign of Richesing. Oh wait, we could Reign of Riches. The first spell you cast each turn that mana from a treasure was spent to have Cascade. That's 5 to do it. That's something to think about, but it's not something we're gonna worry about now because we'll probably fill up just fine. Oh, storm the vault. We'll storm the vault. Storming the vault is funny. do like there and back again, but I prefer there and back again when I can copy Smaug and sacrifice to the legend rule. Whew. It is yawning weather. Okay, what are we at? We're at 95? Oh, good. How many creatures do we have? 27? Oh, good. So we want Mangara. Trouble in pairs, of course. Like like my playgroup, we don't have to worry about the extra turns part. But hey, attacks you with 2 creatures, or draws their second card, or casts their second spell and draw a card. We still only have like 9 artifacts. We have effectively 19 pieces of ramp, but I'm also fine with that. Oh, Junk Wonder is being called removal. That's quaint. I think now it is fine to put the token doublers in. Token O create. Oh, I'm sorry, I ended up at the end of the episode. I think it's twice. Anointed Perception, Mondrak, and Elspeth. Because then that gets us to 100. I think I like this one better because it has, I guess, more big creatures in it. So for Breya's 2, we're going to call this Breya's HOARD. Treasure. And take the 1 off of here. Call it Breya's Thopters. Or Breya's Thopter. Breya's Thopter Squad. There we go. And 141 is a good amount of time. Next week is next week is 5-color week because we're going to do 5-color, and then the last week will be 0-color. What's great about next week is that those two, next week and the week after, unlike these 5 weeks of 4 colors, is that we actually have a lot of commanders to choose from. Though there's probably a lot in Rainbow that we're not going to do anything with just because they're like ridiculous. But like we're, I'll get into it tomorrow. What we what will and won't be doing. See you then.